Hello. So, letting go changed everything. Welcome to the channel. I'm Wendy Davis, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. What happens when your happy, stable, delightful life starts to fall apart? I mean, really falls apart. I have some experience with this, and I'm guessing that if you're here, you might be grappling with some of this too. So, I have a story to share. Let's go to it. So, last May 19th, on a Monday, we had a nice weekend. I was at home with my family. It was a nice weekend. My husband and I went to a barbecue on Sunday at some friend's house. Excuse me. And, we had a really great day. A sunny, nice day. And Monday came around and things were, I thought they were just another normal day. But my husband came in and we must have had some disagreement or there was tension. Something was going on. And I don't even remember what it was now, which is probably bad, but I don't recall. But he got upset and he brought up the D word. And yeah, divorce. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, slow your roll. That's like, let's not go jump to the D word. And I really was, what are you talking about? Are you sure? Is this, what are you, but he was adamant. He said, yes, he wanted a divorce. And, I knew something might be missing. Life isn't always the way you think it should be. But it had been 20 some years and we just, you learn to live with each other's foibles and inconsistencies and just how people are. But apparently that wasn't working anymore. Now, even though I had feelings about this, I would never have acted on it because I valued my family, I valued my home. I felt that our family unit was worth being in this life with. So that was my feeling, but he felt differently. And, he stepped up and he was brave and he did something that I would never have done. And I have to say that sometimes that's what you got to do. If you're not happy in your life, if you're not happy with how things are, I mean, if you really, you only get one life. You gotta do what you gotta do to move forward in a good way. And so I respect that he came to this decision because clearly it was important for him, and it might have been important to me too. I just wasn't sure I was going to go there. So that said, I was determined to be optimistic and see things as opportunities and not, obstacles, and just try to move forward and deal with all of these things that were coming up. And there was a lot of things happening. My mom came to live with us the year before. She's 92, getting, dementia. And so I was caring for her, and moving would mean taking her with me and figuring all that out. I had to do, real estate, start looking for a place to live and buy a home because I didn't want to move twice. And so there was that. We had to divide up our personal property, which is never easy. We had to go through mediation. We had to figure out, financial settlements and, what does 23 years of marriage look like financially for me. There was a lot, and it wasn't pleasant, and those things were all rolling around in my head, and I had monkey mind, a lot of stuff going on. Well, 5 weeks into this tumult, I was taking something out to the freezer, and I walked through the laundry room, and there was water on the floor, and I slipped and I fell and crashed down on my knee and broke my kneecap in half. Ugh, don't ever do that. It's really not a good thing. So my husband and my son, who was home at the time, got me to the emergency room, took me to the hospital. I got a leg brace. I got x-rays, and I had surgery a few days later. I got 2 big screws through my kneecap to hold it together. I had to sit on the couch for 2 months. I could walk around with crutches to go to the bathroom, but really I had to keep my leg elevated, keep it ice the whole time, and just sit there. And this, my friend, was the universe saying, stop. You need to stop. You need to sit, think about what's happening, figure out how you feel about it, feel all the feelings, feel the emotions, figure out how to manage this thing that's happening that is huge for you. And so there I sat for 2 months, and it was really, really hard to be stuck under the same roof with, well, my husband and my daughter, who was still living at home. So that was hard. But I have to say, they were very, very kind to me and, helped me do all the things. So, we're very civil in our disagreements. we did good, and they were very, very kind to me. But I had so much to do. I had to pack, I had to plan, I had to buy property. I had to figure out everything, and sitting still was hard. But it could have been karma. Maybe I was paying some karma, or maybe the universe was just making me stop to get me aligned with what was coming. And I kind of think it was the second one, because while it was really painful and not pleasant, it really did help me to connect to the divine, to connect, to meditate, to figure out how to manage what was going on. And ultimately, I'm grateful for it. And as I was sitting on this couch for 2 months, I came to the realization that you need to be really conscious and aware of what you ask for, what you daydream about, what you want when your mind is wandering, and how you want to be and who you want to be. Because, well, let me explain. So I'm a runner. I run 5 days a week, or I used to run. Now I walk, can't run. But I'd run 5 days a week, 3 miles, and really it's just jogging. But we joggers, we runners like to call it running because, sounds much, much more proficient. So I would go running, and I would see these little homes, little, ranch style houses, simple homes. And I would think, what would it be like to have a little house like that and just have it for my own space and not be responsible for all the other things. The house I was living in with my family and my husband was a beautiful home. It was very lovely and quite grand. It was on 1.25 acres in a neighborhood filled with homes on 1.25 acres. And, I had a garden, a really big garden, and chickens and fruit trees and raspberries and blueberries and a landscape lawn and a 2-story house. And it was lovely. We were so blessed. And I thank God for that blessing. But it was a lot of work. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to do all of this work all of the time. I want to have, I was painting, and I wanted to spend my time painting. And so, I just thought about those things. And as an artist, I spent an inordinate amount of time in my studio, and I had a studio that was on the ground floor. It was a little office space, kind of like a small bedroom size space. And as you know, if you're an artist and you paint, you get quite a collection of art, and you have cartons of art, canvases. And it was spilling into the living room and the dining room and, my paraphernalia. I had things in a lot of places in this house, upstairs in the bonus room. And I'm sure that wasn't fun for everybody else in the house. And, maybe that contributed to this whole separation thing, although I don't think that's what it was. But, so, thinking about this and having studio envy and wanting, having these free time moments of thinking about a different type of life. And you need to be careful what you think about, because by golly, the universe might just give it to you. And I'm happy that I came out this way, but at the same time, there were sacrifices, in a way. I mean, I'm still clearly close with my kids. I have a son and a daughter. My son's at college, and my daughter still lives with my husband because he's got a bigger house and she doesn't like to move. But I'm not far away. I'm very close, so it's good. But there is a cost, and so you need to be aware of the things that you're asking for, because you just might get it. In the words of the talking heads, watch out. You might get what you're after, right? The universe always, always listens. And so be kind to yourself and think the good thoughts, because you don't want to be getting the bad thoughts. Those aren't the things that you want. As an interesting aside to this whole thing, 9 months later, or, it's a year now. It's over a year. So 9 months ago, I started a YouTube channel. This was when I was in my tumultuous times and having lots of emotions and a lot of things to think about, and I had a lot to say. So I decided I was going to start this YouTube channel because I figured there was a lot of women out there who are going through the same thing. They're my age. They're starting over, trying to figure it all out. And I thought that we would have a good time talking about this and learning about it and being each other's support, and being an artist. I wanted to share my art. I wanted to share my spirituality. And I just felt like there's a lot of people out there who are on this same path. And so I came up with a name, and it was called This Crone's Painted Path. And at the time, I really liked it because I was feeling old and wise, and I felt like I had a lot to say and a lot to share. And plus, painting, painted path, that was really delightful. So I thought maybe I should start it up again, and I should spend more, give it a concerted effort and really do it right this time. And so I thought, well, yeah, I kind of blew it, and maybe I should just not, all the little negative thoughts creep in there. But I thought, well, I'm going to get out my handy dandy Mother of Peace tarot deck. It's this wonderful deck. It's about this big. It's circular. And it's feminine and earthy and has primitive art on it. I got it in the 90s at East West Bookstore in Palo Alto, because I used to live down that direction. And it's a great place to spend an afternoon. It's wonderful. But I haven't used it in years, and I dug it out. And I thought, well, I'm going to ask one question. I'm just going to say, should I go and should I do this YouTube channel? Should I share my story and my path, or should I not? Give me a sign. So I took it out, and I was shuffling it and getting all my energy on it. I sat on the bed and I closed my eyes and I spread it out in front of me. And I went and I plucked one card, and I looked at it, and you know what that card was? It was the Crone. It was the Crone, and that's the name of my channel. And I was just shocked as, I won't say it, shocked as shit. And, my jaw's down here on the floor, and I'm thinking, wow, thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for giving me clearly a really good sign. And so I also want to say that if you're on this path and you're trying to figure it out, ask for help. God is always with you. God is in you, and God is everywhere. Whatever you call God, whether it's, the divine beloved, the creator, Jesus, Krishna, whatever, Shiva, all the things, Mother Earth, all of the things. Another thing that I learned in Sanskrit, under the Hindu umbrella of ideology, Subhek means all one. It's all one. We are all one. It doesn't matter what you call God. God doesn't care. God is all of it. God is every single thing. God is the manifestation that you need God to be. And God is always with you. So feel secure in the knowledge that even if you don't know what you're doing, if you're looking to the divine for help, they're always right there. God is always with you, walking with you, and you forget you're out there, falling apart and tripping and doing all kinds of things and losing your way. But if you just center yourself for a minute and remember who you are, your highest self, the love that you are in your highest version of you, what you're made of, that's going to get you through. The divine is there. That's where the divine is. The divine will show you the way. And sometimes when you ask in cards, it just hits you over the head. And sometimes just walking down the street, maybe, you get these continual guidances from your guides and from spirit. Maybe it's a bird lighting in a tree, or a squirrel's playing in the grass, or your neighbor smiling at you when you go get the mail, or anything. All of these things, it's all God. It's all part of the one reminding you, we're here, we're with you every moment, and you're doing okay. Just always try to think of, what is the next right thing to do? What would be the next right thing, the next best thing for me to do? And if you don't know, maybe just ask God what you think might be the next best thing, or to help guide you. And chances are you'll know, you'll get a feeling. Listen to your intuition. It's very, very real. And we've lost a lot of our connection with our intuition. Got to sit in your belly and let your belly tell you. Let your belly know. It knows. It knows. So anyway, okay, I'm going to wrap things up here. I just want to say that this channel is going to be very much about our collective journeys to our new and better selves, about being creative, about indulging in things we love, fostering new relationships with our new selves, and growing in spirit. There will be lively chats. There will be painting. There will be thoughts on healing and health. Our journeys are all different, but even in their differences, we have a lot in common, and we need to be seen and heard. Do you have anything happening in your life? Changes that you're trying to deal with? Do you have tactics that you're using to help you manage challenging times? Put them in the comments. I'd really like to read what you have to say and hear your skew on these things, because I think it's healthy and good for all of us to learn what other people are doing and to connect in that way. Whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you're single, whether you're happy or not doing very well, we can all learn from each other, and it'd be good to share all of that. I would love to hear from you in the comments. So let's live our best life. Let's bloom even fuller and better this second time around. Second Bloom Studio, that's what we're all about. So thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so grateful that you stayed this long, and I'm happy to have you here. And I'm holding you here in my heart. Much, much love to you all. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Namaste.